Okay, let's do this thing. I know I'm a little bit late, but of course I gotta talk about the draft right now. Night two of the WWE draft. Honestly, the show wasn't really all that in general, but honestly, I feel like a lot of these picks felt very predictable, and I kind of figured who was gonna be going where. Okay, so let's go into this show right now of all the draft picks because it was about 6 rounds out there draft picks, if I'm not mistaken. So we kick it off with Triple H once again, basically explaining what's going on within the draft. You know, after May 8th, that's when the rosters will go into effect. And, it's going to shake the foundation like it did Friday. I wouldn't say that, but he talked about there will be a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion for Monday Night Raw. That'll be exclusive. Brock Lesnar apparently is not eligible to even be drafted. He basically is a free agent and can show up on any show he likes at any time, which kind of makes no sense. Why is he even in the draft pool? And then again, I know there's some free agents right now after Friday, but the fact that they just bring Brock up, like, okay, Brock is like special, so he doesn't really have to, you know, be drafted anywhere. He just can go anywhere he likes. Now, as for the round one picks, Rhea Ripley to Raw, that's literally no surprise. Okay, Bianca went to SmackDown. Obviously, Ripley was going to Raw, so they will probably switch the belts at some point. Austin Theory, SmackDown. Yeah, the Intercontinental Champions on Raw, so the U.S. title's going to SmackDown now. Austin Theory, will it make a difference? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Seth Rollins on Raw, not much of a surprise. Charlotte's still on SmackDown, not much of a surprise. She probably will face Bianca soon. I'm sure a lot of people want to see that match, including myself. So Bianca versus Charlotte, that should be really good. So no surprise. But like I said, Ripley and Bianca will most likely be just switching over the titles. Paul Heyman came out then. Um, he talked about that new piece of gold over there, and that could be on Roman Reigns, but it's not going to be because his title is on Raw, and that this belt is on, and Roman is on SmackDown. And then, all the children in the locker room, and he kept saying freaking so many times. Of course, it brings out Joker Seth Rollins out, basically talking about, what's wrong, Heyman. Reigns is on SmackDown, so we don't have to deal with him anymore because the Night of Champions, he will become that new the new world champion. Rollins basically, how about you have a phone call, huh, with your boy Roman and everything? And he says, I can't. He kept saying, I can't hear my tribal chief. And you're pissing off the tribal chief. Rollins said, how many seconds is it gonna take till I stomp your head in the ring? Solo came out then. Heyman basically went on saying that this match is gonna happen tonight with Solo versus Seth. So that's gonna go down. Um, and whatnot. But overall, good opening segment though with Rollins and Heyman out there, basically setting up the match for later on tonight. But yeah, Heyman talking about the new title. I don't think Roman will be getting that belt anytime soon. But would it surprise me if he just goes and gets another title belt? Maybe. Wouldn't really surprise me. Like, damn, they're giving him 2 titles. You might as well give him 3. Um, Next, they had Liv Morgan and Raquel versus Bailey and Dakota Kai. Um, I guess, well, what, Bailey and Dakota won. They got the win, which honestly I don't remember any time Damage Control ever gets a win. So I guess they'll be in line for a title shot next. So we'll see what happens. Um, right after that, we had to the second round, which was Booker T and Charmel, who announced the next draft picks. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn stay on Raw. Well, no, they were on. Well, Sammy was on SmackDown. Kevin was on Raw, but now they're both on Raw. Usos go to SmackDown. No surprise there. I really think they were gonna separate the Usos and Heyman and Roman and them possibly, but I find it odd that the factions in a way are separated in the draft of how they're going because okay, so the rest of the bloodline goes to SmackDown first, but the Usos have to wait till Raw to go to SmackDown. And it's weird with Judgment Day. Okay, all the Judgment Day stays on Raw. Why can't you just say Judgment Day gets drafted to Raw? Was it really necessary just to separate Ripley and the rest of the members as one? Um, I don't know, cause it's like, what's the point if you're trying to split up teams and stuff if they're all gonna get drafted together as a group? Cause all of the LWO, they got drafted to SmackDown. Rey Mysterio, Santos, DJZ, Mendoza, and Vega. So nobody really got separated when it comes to a lot of teams. They all end up being on the same show together. So yeah, Judgment Day stays on Raw, which, like I said, kind of unnecessary now to have Ripley and Judgment Day separated as a different draft pick, but they all are on the same show, and LWO stays on the same show. Um, Strowman and Ricochet beat Alpha Academy. Shawn Michaels and Adam Pearce came out for the next round of picks, but Brock Lesnar's music hit. Adam Pearce told him, no, 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 this is a draft right now. Lesnar said, you're looking at the real cowboy in Texas right now. All the security guards came out. Pearce said, listen, man, I asked you nicely. And Lesnar said, you're going to need a lot more security guards than that. There was a second wave that came out. Cody's music hit. He ended up punching Lesnar to the ground. Security held Cody Rhodes back as Lesnar, just smiled as he took that punch and everything before walking in the back. So good hype up there, especially for Backlash coming up this Saturday. So we'll see what happens. But Shawn Michaels was still out there for the third pick with the draft, which they drafted Liv Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez to Raw. Um, well, they were on SmackDown, so I guess that's different. Asuka to SmackDown. I hope something different happens for Asuka, especially after WrestleMania. Maybe something different will happen. New Day goes back to Raw. We'll see what happens. The Brawling Brutes all stay on SmackDown, so I'm not surprised there. Matt Riddle was happy that all, him, Owens, and Zayn are all on Raw. Next thing you know, Matt Riddle went against Jimmy Uso. Next thing you know, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens pull an Eddie Guerrero trick on to Jey Uso then and gets him ejected. Let's see Chavo Guerrero get mad at that, or according to Chavo now, Chavo said this was all a work, which makes zero sense in my opinion. So there you go. Which is just kind of funny to me that he gets mad at Ray, but everyone else is doing Eddie Guerrero tributes also. So are you gonna get mad at them? Matt Riddle ended up getting the win over Jimmy Uso though. So there you go. Who are the next people that were gonna come out for the picks? What? Eric Bischoff and Rob Van Dam. I know they had Solo and Heyman talking in the back. Jey Uso one said like, how come my brother was in ringside? And Heyman said that the tribal chief assigned him to be here. And it says, "Oh, you want the room to yourself." So yeah, we're just gonna leave right now, okay? But yeah, Eric Bischoff, I'm back and I'm better than ever. Rob Van Dam, RVD came out for round 4. Um, Trish Stratus to Raw. I never really thought she was going anywhere but Raw. Cross stays on SmackDown. Rousey and Baszler to Raw, which kind of crazy that Rousey is being involved in a tag team as a draft pick, because Rousey was like one of the big, like, a major special attraction or a big name, and now she's like round 4 or 5 in the picks now, because Rousey would be like a number 1, number 2 pick, but now she's like in one of the later round picks. So kind of tells you something where Rousey is right now within the company. Honestly, I know Rousey's been hurt, but her and Shayna haven't even been seen since WrestleMania, so maybe it'll make a difference for her being on Raw. I don't know. She just feels like another person now, not special anymore. LA Knight stays on SmackDown. Hopefully something happens. Miz TV had happened, which Shinsuke Nakamura came out, given now he's on Raw. Miz talked about he's going to be the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Miz said, Nakamura would be a great number 2. Nakamura said something to him in Japanese, which basically said, the guy with tiny balls, and then he ended up hitting him with a Kinshasa then. Omos, who's a free agent, I don't even know who he really went against out there. He just beat a guy. Omos was still a free agent. What was next? Molly Holly and Road Dogg, the DOGG came out. Oh, you didn't know? For round 5 of the draft picks, Braun Strowman and Ricochet to Raw. I like them as a team. Maybe they'll do something on Raw. Shotzi stays on SmackDown. Bronson Reed stays on Raw. Pretty Deadly from NXT are going to SmackDown. So, given that they were killed off on NXT, um, you know, I figured they were going to be brought up. So, back from the dead, I guess. Um, what else picks that they have right here? I'm trying to see who else they had. I know Judgment Day came out then talking about this Saturday for a Backlash. Dominic got booed out the building, of course. He says we're gonna beat the LWO again. LWO came out. Since they're gonna be on separate shows now, basically say they're gonna give them a beating and whatnot. But Judgment Day ended up getting a win. What Priest ended up pinning Rey Mysterio. So yeah, Judgment Day just looks strong going into Saturday. But good tag team match. LWO takes another L. But yeah, other than them taking another L, Cody was in the back, basically talking about Legend's a free agent, so he can go around everywhere what he wants, and basically why does he get to do that? But he says he's not gonna go back over that line right now, but whatever the line was, but he's not gonna go over it. But yeah, Cody still on Raw, I guess. Well, yeah, he is on Raw. What am I talking about? Next, I'm going to interview Bianca in the back, basically talking to Damage Control, as EO said something in Japanese to Bianca, and Bianca said, "You don't need to translate. We understand each other just fine for this Saturday." Teddy Long and JBL came out for the final round draft picks from round 6. Alpha Academy stay on Raw. Rick Boogs, he stays on SmackDown. Well, he was on SmackDown before he got hurt. Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro go to Raw, which is kind of surprising to me. Which now it's like you can't even put the NXT tag titles on any of them because they're supposed to be in a match this Tuesday, right? Against Alba Fire and Isla Dawn for the NXT tag belts. So, who really wins here? You might as well add a third team and have them win because they're all going to be separated. We already know Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are going to SmackDown, and now Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro are going to Raw. So what's the match? What's the point of this match for Tuesday? Cameron Grimes go to SmackDown. It's about the damn time he got brought up. So good to see him going to the moon. We haven't seen Cameron Grimes in a pretty good long while, so hopefully to see good things from him. In the main event with Solo and Seth Rollins, I don't have much to say about this. DQ finish, Bloodline finish. It happens almost every week. Raw or SmackDown. And then everybody comes out and brawl, and that's the end of the show. So there you go. A lot of these draft picks, though, felt predictable in a way, or nobody didn't really change out of shows that much. Maybe a few people, but I don't know. Who do I think really got the better picks right now? I want to say SmackDown, but Raw did get a little bit more picks and whatnot. But, I will say one thing about the, I guess they do have the rest of the draft lottery pool or the supplemental draft. And I would just want to go over those real quick before we get out of here. But what do we got? And the rest of the picks who are going to be going to Monday Night Raw, because it's not a lot, but here's who's going to Raw. Dana Brooke, I guess she stays on Raw. Nikki Cross, Raw. She was already on Raw. Gargano still on Raw. Garza and Humberto. I didn't even know what show they really were on, but they're on Raw. Tozawa stays on Raw. Piper Niven stays on Raw. Xia Li was on SmackDown, but now goes to Raw. Tegan Nox Raw. Emma Raw. Madcap Moss Raw. Indus Sheer, which is from NXT, or I guess Jinder now gets to go back to the main roster. Will all be going to Raw. And Odyssey Jones from NXT going to Raw. That's interesting. SmackDown, Tamina, and Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller has been really good on NXT, so let's see how he does on the main roster now. So that's going to be interesting. Now, apparently, there are still these undrafted free agents, which Brock, which can go anywhere, Omos, Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, Von Wagner, Baron Corbin, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin, Zion Quinn, and Elias. So those are the rest of the picks right now. Okay. But yeah, my thoughts on a lot of these picks. Some got switched. Maybe something will good for happen for some of these people, but either some of the picks were either predictable or maybe something will be a change for some of them. I feel like Friday's picks felt a little bit more I don't know, a little bit more surprising than I felt tonight. But yeah, those are the picks though. But other than that, that's all I got to say about Raw tonight and this draft. So yeah, I'm out of here. I'll see y'all then. Peace out. Comment, subscribe. Find me on Twitter, Hoodie890. Like this video and hit the notification bell. So I'm out. See y'all then. Peace.